Hello everybody, today we're taking a look at Dark Apostle, written by Anthony Reynolds. Now Anthony Reynolds has worked closely with Games Workshop. He's worked on the 4th edition rulebook for Warhammer 40k, and the 3rd edition Witch Hunters Codex, along with the Index of Starting Books, which really flesh out the Space Marines. He's also written multiple short stories, mainly based on Chaos Space Marines, which brings us to this book, which is the first in the Word Bearers trilogy. Now, this is the first Chaos Space Marine book I've read that dealt with the Chaos Space Marines fighting the Imperium. The first one I reviewed had Chaos Space Marines fighting Chaos Space Marines, so you didn't really feel bad rooting for the bad guy because they're both bad guys. Then again, if you're into that, then you wouldn't feel bad to begin with. But me, I'm a person that likes to root for the good guy. So I did feel a little bit conflicted reading a book that's clearly based on the Chaos Space Marines fighting the Imperium. Or was that just a lore? I mean, am I really supposed to want the Chaos Space Marines to beat the Imperial Guard? I mean, am I really supposed to care about the Imperial Guard? What have they done? Oh, but you must understand, the Imperial Guard are the backbone of the Imperium. They overwhelm their enemies with their sheer number and ferocity. They are the heroes. What are you... Whatever. The Word Bearers are clearly the main characters of the book. It's even named after them. The Imperial Guard are clearly there to free the planet from the clutches of chaos. But in every battle, the Word Bearers are winning decisive victories, and they're even killing off the Guard's command structure. And yet, the Guard continues to push back the Word Bearers. Yeah, that really bugged me in the book. And it occurs due to the Guard's superior numbers, along with the help of the Mechanicum, the living embodiment of the Machine God. But the main plot revolves around the Word Bearers, and it's clear that they're just trying to buy time to defeat the Guard. Do you really believe that the book will be about the villain? Yeah, I do. Goodbye. Wait, okay, done with that distraction. Moving on. Now this book focuses on the Word Bearers, one of the first Space Marine legions who ultimately turned traitor during the heresy. And the thing about the Word Bearers is that they're zealots when it comes to their religion, originally believing and praising the Emperor to be the god, which caused problems for them early on, and now worshipping chaos, mostly. So we got a very old Chaos Legion here that heralds all the way back to the heresy. And that's something that's pretty dangerous. So let's just get right into the story. The story mainly focuses around the first acolyte to the Dark Apostle. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Dark Apostle is, he's pretty much the Chaos Space Marine equivalent to a chaplain from the Space Marines. So we're going to get to talk about the Dark Apostle! What? I'm sorry, this doesn't roll off the tongue like the chaplain.
Chaplain!
Well, no you don't. Sorry, wrong review. So the first acolyte, Marduk, could be Marduk, not sure, is being trained to be the next Dark Apostle. But we're getting hints that the current Dark Apostle is only using Marduk, and has no real intention on making him the next Dark Apostle. In fact, the current Dark Apostle, whose name is Juralek, is just shady all around. And I know they're evil, the Chaos Space Marines. But even among their own legion, you can't trust anybody. In fact, Marduk has a rival in their Corfest. I'm positive I said that wrong. The Corfest being Cole Bader. Now, what's a Corfest? Well, I think it's the equivalent to the chapter champion, because he really does seem to be the second, if not third in command, or about at the same level as the first acolyte, but more on the warrior side than the faith side. And these guys are always button heads. In fact, they want to kill each other, but they can't because, they're on a mission and they gotta pretend to be friends. So we got a really good rivalry going on here. But the main goal that they're all trying to accomplish is to invade the planet of Tanakreg. Why can't they use real words? So they're invading Tanakreg to build the Gilgamesh, which is a huge tower to chaos. Now, why are they doing this? They believe that there's some really ancient, secret, super powerful stuff inside the planet that they're trying to break through. And the Imperial Guard, along with the Adeptus Mechanicus, are trying to stop them. And this is where the confusion comes in as to who am I supposed to be rooting for. Obviously, the Chaos Space Marines, they're the focus of the book. But you have very heroic acts coming from the Imperial Guard, even from the Planetary Defense, who were slaughtered. And we got a lot of good characters coming from the Imperial Guard, good personalities coming from them. And even though in the battles, when they're fighting against the Word Bearers seem to be slaughtering the Imperial Guard. And it doesn't seem like there's anything the Imperial Guard could do, but yet the Imperial Guard are continually pushing back the Chaos Space Marines. The only excuse being that there's just so many of them. And I guess when you think about it on the tabletop, that's really how it goes, so it makes sense. And there's this great side story that I was actually more interested in the side story, which involves one of the enforcer being the equivalent to a police officer, who was native to the planet, who was captured and enslaved by the Word Bearers. And what I loved about this is that we get to see the entire process on indoctrination and what happens to the populace when they become slaves of chaos and how they're slowly turned. And ultimately how they're faithful to the Imperium, their minds just begin to twist around. And that was pretty cool, how they worked that character in there. I mean, you could say that it was just stuff to fluff up the book, since it really had no real impact on the story. But I liked it, so stop that. And as I mentioned, this is part of a trilogy. I didn't know that going into this. So when you get completely blindsided by what happens at the end, and what the secret is, and how it ultimately finishes it off, there is a big to be continued. So I'm guessing this is a series that you have to read in order. But if you're the kind of person that really just wants to have like the good guys be victorious, then this is going to be a frustrating book for you. But if you're a little bit more open-minded, or just really want to see the evil side win, I would recommend this book only for that. I don't know how the trilogy ends, but this was a fun read, although it did feel a little bit schizophrenic. Thankfully, they didn't have too many characters to follow, so it wasn't too confusing. Well, that's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth.